They say if you want to scale, you need a team, more people, more power, right? But I kind of started wondering, is that really true? Because wait, I have seen some of the biggest names trimming their teams back. Have you? It's out there, right? While others are bragging about payroll that sounds bigger than their profits. So I decided to run an audit on myself, a solopreneur versus a team. Is it really worth it? When I say audit, I mean I went back through my last 10 years as an entrepreneur and I pulled apart two of my businesses, my real estate business and my coaching business, to see what was really happening behind the scenes. I wanted to get past the hype and the assumptions that just look at the facts. I broke it down into three simple filters. Profit, because profit is your glory, and my benchmark has always been at least 70%. Expenses, every dollar that went to people, services, software, or solutions I thought I needed. And three was sales growth. Was spending more actually bringing in more sales? And if it did, was I still keeping the profits I wanted? I wanted the truth, not what the industry says, not what everybody else tells you, but the real numbers from my own business. Because if you're not careful, you could end up scaling in a way that actually costs you more than it gives you. And I needed to know, was that happening to me? When I sat down to run this audit, I didn't want vague feelings like, well, this business feels easier or this one feels heavier. I wanted hard comparisons, numbers, patterns, things I couldn't ignore. So here's how I did it. 1, profit. Profit is my North Star. It doesn't matter how flashy the revenue looks. If I'm not taking home at least 70%, I don't consider it a win. So I went line by line, calculating how much I actually kept after expenses. That number tells the real story. 2, expenses. Then I dug into what was actually leaving my bank account. Not just payroll or contractors, but everything. Agencies, software, subscriptions, tools, even the services I signed up for thinking, oh, this will make my life easier. We all know those, right? And here's something I noticed. Whenever I added more people, I almost always ended up adding more software, more tools too. It was like the team came with its own hidden layer of complexity. So I wanted to see if that was really true when looking back. 3, sales growth. Finally, I looked at growth because the whole point is to make more, right? So I asked, did those extra expenses actually lead to more sales? And if they did that growth actually translate into more profits, or did it just eat the margins I wanted? And once I had all three of these filters, I pulled the numbers for both businesses and actually charted them out side by side so I could see in real time how they looked. That way, I wasn't relying on memory or assumptions. I could literally see the patterns play out right in front of me. As I started laying out the numbers and charting everything side by side, some interesting patterns popped out immediately. The first thing I noticed was how my first 4 years in real estate showed almost no real profit. I was working, but I wasn't taking much home. Then in year 5, after I streamlined the business and cut my contractors down to, yes, just one as needed roles, everything shifted. I suddenly was taking home, 98% of the income that I earned. That was eye-opening to me. On the coaching side, the pattern looked completely different. Once I brought the business online, so I was coaching for a while beforehand, my profits actually dropped while my expenses multiplied. For the first 14 months, I was spending more on people than I was even making, and not just a little more, like a lot more. And seeing those two lines side by side, one business climbing into massive profits and the other shrinking under the weight of expenses, it made me realize something bigger was going on. That's what led me to dig deeper into what I was really learning about scaling profits and how I wanted to build going forward. Looking back at these charts, I realized this wasn't just about numbers. It was about what those numbers were telling me. Okay, here's my lessons. Lesson 1, more people doesn't mean more profit. In real estate, I proved that lean worked. The fewer moving parts I had, the more I kept. But in coaching, the moment I tried to add more people, the profit disappeared. I thought a bigger team would bring me freedom, but all it really brought was payroll stress, project management, headaches, and a lot of money going out the door. Lesson 2, people create layers. Here's what I didn't see at first. When you hire more people, you don't just add them. You add systems, software, tools, a whole bunch of hidden stack of complexity. Suddenly, you're paying for a project management platforms, messaging apps, and new tech just to keep everyone moving. I thought I was buying back my time, but I was actually buying myself another job, managing other people's people. And that's so true. It happened a lot. Lesson 3, bigger isn't always better. This hit me when I thought about my time in corporate. Back when I was working at Ernst & Young as a corporate tax consultant, one of my clients was Cisco. I'd see their entire departments. They had duplicating the same roles in these departments, same people doing the same things, layer on layer of people doing the same thing. That's why big companies go through massive layoffs every few years. They bloat and then they have to cut. Seeing my own coaching business bloat the same way, that was a wake-up call. Lesson 4, hiring requires precision. I learned the hard way that not everyone who says they want the job actually wants to do the job. I once gave a VA a test task before hiring her. 3 days later, she came back and said she didn't want the role anymore. And the wild part, the task was exactly what I told her the job would be. That showed me how much intention you need when hiring. Otherwise, you're just spending more time training and retraining people who don't even want to be there. At the end of this audit, I finally saw the pattern. Scaling isn't about how many people you can add. It's about how strategic you are with the people you choose. The wrong hires, the wrong layers, the wrong systems, they don't make you grow. They just make you tired and broke. But the right lean setup, that can change everything. So after running this audit, here's my verdict. Is building a team worth it? Well, it depends. For me, not right now, no. If you're running a multi-7-figure empire with layers of offers and you want to be the face while other people run the machine, then yes, you'll need a bigger team. But for most entrepreneurs, especially women in the 200K to 1 million range, a massive team isn't freedom. It's more like a trap. Trust me, I've experienced it. What my numbers prove to me is this: you don't need more people to grow. You need the right people in the right roles at the right time. That's huge. Scaling isn't about how many team members you can add. It's about how refined your system is. Right now, my real estate business is still just me and 1 or 2 strategically placed contractors when needed. And I continue to take home 98% of my income as profit. For my coaching business, I've downsized the team. Yes, I thought I needed to just have essentials, but I don't. And finally, I'm seeing that 70% profit margin I'm always aiming for. The online space does require a little more. Okay, you might be saying a lot more. Yeah, maybe. You've got social and content, landing pages, emails, offers, launches, so many moving parts. I get it. But streamlining it is a must. And honestly, this is what I'm best at, cutting the noise and refining it down to what actually moves the needle. I know in the coming months, as I continue to build and grow the House of Cortessa, I'll need to hire a small team to help me run everything. But this time, the structure is different. The profits should stay above 70%. And that's when you know you've done it right. If there's one thing this whole audit taught me, it's that building an empire isn't about adding more and more. Trust me, it's not. It's about refining, subtracting the noise, and building something light enough to actually live in. That's exactly why I created the House of Cortessa, a society for women entrepreneurs who want to grow their business without the heaviness, the bloat, or the burnout. Inside, we focus on scaling smarter, keeping profit margins way high, and building wealth that actually funds your life. So if this message resonates with you, if you're ready to build your next level with more clarity, more profit, and less stress, I'd love to invite you to join the waitlist. It's where everything begins, and it's where you'll be the first to know when the next Cortessa Live experience is. Because your empire should give you freedom, not take it away. And the House of Cortessa is where we build that together. I will see you on the next video right now.